We had another fight announcement. This one being announced by ESPN's Brett Okamoto. Breaking news, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Vicente Luque has been added to UFC 244 on November 2nd in New York City. Per Dana White, Wonderboy wanted to return to MSG, and Luque, 10-2 in the UFC, is from New Jersey. Fun matchup at 170. Completely agree. Very fun matchup. Luque, I think, is around 13, 14 ranked right now at welterweight. Wonderboy Thompson coming off the hard knockout from at the hands of Anthony Pettis. People forget that Wonderboy Thompson, he's had some hard losses. He lost to Darren Till. He lost the two Woodley bouts. But he's also the last guy that beat Jorge Masvidal. He was a very top prospect. Vicente Luque has been on a complete tear, a legit welterweight in this division. So I think this is a very good matchup. I think that this is really like a do or die almost for Stephen Thompson's relevance at this point. I think this is a big chance for Vicente Luque to put himself into the top 10 of what I believe is the best division in the sport right now. Welterweight is so stacked from top to bottom. I mean, from everybody from what we just talked about earlier with Kamaru and Colby and Woodley and Leon and Masvidal and Nate Diaz now and Ben Askren, Damian Maia are fighting. Santiago Ponzinibbio is still in there whenever he can return. So this is a big division right now. Robbie Lawler, Luque and Wonderboy, I think is going to be a good matchup for this division at the moment. And like I said, I think this is really Wonderboy fighting to basically stay relevant and Luque fighting for a chance to get into the top 10 of this division. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I think Luque is a guy who's already putting enough work that he maybe should already be there, right? But it's so stacked that, he's beyond notice. He hasn't gotten noticed. Here, Stephen Thompson's a guy that, because he's been to main event fights, that people know him, right? So Luque really has a shot at taking some name recognition with an impressive victory here. Thompson coming off a loss, it's always questionable to see there. And the interesting part is I'm not sure if Thompson talked about moving up to 185, but maybe at 170 it's part of what was affecting Thompson is the weight cut and stuff, because he did seem to not get off in a couple of his recent outings and things. So I do think it's an interesting fight. I think if it goes the right way, unfortunately Stephen Thompson may be continuing his slide, and Luque will get his spot moving up. That's if the right thing. I don't want to say the right things happen, but that's if the current way. It seems to be heading in that direction. That's what I mean, just from the karma perspective.
Yeah, I agree, and that has been my biggest criticism of Wonderboy Thompson in the past, is that he does tend to have sometimes some lackadaisical fights, doesn't have enough volume, but then other times he just looks terrific like he did against George Masvidal. And